All right, last week we talked about polygons, and this week we are going to talk about polyhedrons. So a polygon are just the flat shapes we've been drawing. They're two-dimensional. They're easy to label, they're easy to identify, they're easy to see their sides. Polyhedrons are different in that they're three-dimensional. So they're easier to talk about when I can hold a shape in my hand and show you. It's a little harder when it's on paper, but we're going to learn how to identify them on paper and see them on paper. So a polyhedron is a three-dimensional shape with all flat surfaces. That means that cylinders, they look like that, or a cone, 3D shapes, they are not polyhedrons because they have rounded sides. All their sides have to be flat. The flat surface is what we call a face and is always the shape of a polygon. Sometimes it's a triangle, sometimes it's a rectangle. Those are the most common. The line where the faces touch, we call the edge. And the point where three or more edges intersect, we call the vertex. So I have this shape right here. In this picture, this point where these lines come together, it'd be pokey if you touched it with your finger, that is the vertex. This is talking about this line right here where all these sides meet, just that little bit, it's the edge. And then this part is talking about this whole flat piece right there, and that's called a face. So much of geometry is just being able to identify parts and pieces correctly. So face, edge, and vertex. And now we're going to talk about the two kinds of polyhedrons. A prism has two parallel congruent faces that we call its base, or bases. And the connecting faces are always parallelograms. And what that means is, in this figure right here, we have all these rectangles. This is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, this is a rectangle, that's a rectangle, and that's a rectangle. And I know it doesn't look like in the picture, but they're all the exact same size and measure. So in this picture, there happens to be 5 of them. The bases are not those parts. The bases are these. In this, it happens to be the bottom and the top, but it's the part that only has 2 matches. So this is not a rectangle. This is a pentagon, and this is a pentagon. So those are its bases. A prism you can set either way. It doesn't matter. It's going to sit up. A pyramid, think of Egypt. There's a point at the top. So it has one base, and it sits on that one base, and you can't flip it upside down and set it the other way. So a pyramid has a polygon base. It has triangle faces and a point or a vertex. So if you look at all of these faces, they're all triangles. And they all come to a point right there. That's its vertex. So you have little papers. I'm going to flip over to the next page. It's just the bottom of this page. All right, I need you to take all the pictures that I have provided you in the little baggie, and I need you to glue them onto the paper. We've got 3 prisms and 3 pyramids, and I need you to color their bases. The bases in the prisms are all orange, okay? All right, thank you.